And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Let's read some of your viewer comments. First up, we have a comment from Jason about Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Here's what he has to say. Let's go to the split screen. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has more surnames than brain cells. Thanks for that. As Dennis Miller once observed, she's the biggest waste of a hyphen in the history of human personal... I can't even... What is that word? Oh, thank you. I used to think Pelosi was the most stupid Democrat of all time until DNC Chairman Debbie was unable to answer Chris Matthews' question pertaining to the difference between a Democrat and a socialist. How are we losing to these people, Jason asks. Wow, the liberal even likes that.
Well, I know how you're losing to us people, but I'm not going to defend Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I'm well on record here of thinking she should have been able to answer that question.
Very good. Now, you use keratin, I would assume, with the nice straight hair and it flows. You don't? That's natural? Good for you.
I don't, but she could.
Keratin, the curly thing. I mean, I really think she's got to work on that a little bit better.
He doesn't like her hair, is what he's getting down to.
That's...
And listen,
there are lots of things you could
in
argue.
the
Okay,
head.
I use it because I curl up as well. I'm trying to get out of this segment, in other words.
Inside the head, that is a problem when it comes to answering that question.
Okay, good out.
Can I
Thank you
defend
for
her
that.
for like 2 seconds?
You may.
I think that she was in a position where
Time's
she
up.
couldn't, where she couldn't create that split the party. She needs the populist base.
So, Nomi,
Yes.
put on the media hat once again, she had 3 days to come up with a good
And it was
answer.
totally handleable.
And she got asked
without
again
creating
on
a
national television and
Whatever.
somehow couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It was doable.
She's a nice woman. I like her.
Okay.
I know the media hates her. I actually like her.
Next,
That's the defense.
we have a
There are
comment
worse Democrats.
we have a comment from Gene who says, "Thanks for pointing out that the Republican heroes, Ronald Reagan in this case, conducted his politics in much the same or worse as our current president. It is just tit for tat, except for when the Republicans seem to be only aware of when a Democrat does it. Why are there never media complaints of those who are continually saying Obama instead of President Obama?" Very good point. "Since when would conservative Republicans be proud of a candidate with a marriage record such as Trump's anyway?" Guys, I think what we've said here, what we've seen here, most importantly, that is our first pro-liberal commenter in our history. I think.
Broadening our audience.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Was that her? Did you
Set
say
her
that?
up.
Let me be very clear about
Yeah.
something. All right, so scripts are written, and then scripts come to me just so I could
Yes,
kind of
yeah,
tailor
we
it a
do
little
that,
bit.
yeah.
I always make sure, just in case, that it's President Obama, it's
No, you
Mr.
do. I
Obama,
know that. I
it's
know
the
that.
president.
You do.
All right, you respect the office just like if it was a Bush, a Clinton, or a Reagan before.
And I agree with that. Whenever I wrote about President Bush, it was always President Bush or Mr. Bush. It has nothing to do with your politics. He's the President of the United States.
Yeah, it looks cheap otherwise.
I agree.
Okay. So here's one from Robert who says the Jim Crow South was a product of Democratic policies. 1, 2, 3 exclamation points.
Well, now wait a second. It kind of bugs me when people do that. Yes, it was. But that's just completely failing to understand that the Southern Democrats of that era are basically Republicans today. There's no other way to put it. It's true. You just have to look at the voting numbers. Things change. Republicans today are not exactly the same as when Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Parties changed, particularly in regions. So yes, they were Democrats back then, but it's just not the same parties as it is now. So,
Heather?
I think that there's an argument to be made that they are similar parties. A higher number of Republicans voted for the Civil Rights Act than Democrats,
That's right.
and the change has not been that great since then.
It's been pretty great.
Right. Well, Democrats have sold it better than being a party.
I mean, but you're right. It was Republicans, and I wonder if you'd see those same vote totals today. Things change.
Okay, you're up.
Celeste says, "Giving money to our enemies and countries who want to annihilate us is ridiculous." Well,
100
kind of hard to argue with that, isn't
No,
it?
it's really very much to the point, and she is 100%
But
correct.
I will point this out, though. I mean, I know she's talking about the Iran agreement, but we've been giving money to countries who are not our friends for many, many, many decades.
We've been doing business with countries
That's
that are not our friends.
And that's not a Democrat thing, and it's not a Republican thing. It's a foreign policy thing.
But this
For
much
reasons.
money,
Well, this is
$100
this
billion.
is
dollars.
Oh wait, we're
for
not.
that.
And I'm not defending it, but I do feel I should point out it's not our money we're giving them.
Right.
We froze their money. So it's their money we're allowing them to have
releasing
back.
So we're
as opposed to giving
unfreezing it.
money.
Okay. Finally, we have a comment about VP Joe Biden running for president from Patty, who says, yes, exclamation point. And Nomi probably wrote this under another name. We need for VP Biden to, and the Starbucks leader, that's Schultz, I believe, Howard Schultz, to get into the race. It disgusts me that the Democratic Party gives me Hillary and tells me that this is the best we can get. Hillary is corrupt, and I know our party has others that would represent us better than that. Rick Unger, two liberal
Another
comments
liberal.
in one segment.
My work is done. Good night, folks. Tip your waitress. Try the roast beef. I'm out of here.
They've all
That's
followed you and
unbelievable.
Nomi here.
That's unbelievable. I think
amazing.
Nomi's bringing them. That's what I think.
That's me. It's my 4 Twitter followers.
Right.
Crossed over.
But that's the thing, though. That's the undercurrent that we're feeling right
Yeah.
now is that please somebody else get in
Yeah,
besides
it's-
Hillary
it's
because we
real.
can't support this
Even
woman.
that Starbucks
It's
guy.
real. Even that Starbucks guy.
Even at Starbucks guy. Or Schultz.
And remember, if you want to weigh in on any of these issues we talk about here, go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. It's right down there, and let us know what you think. So it's time for Yay or Nay. It's happy time. This is the Daily Wrap.